Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. Jumping on a couple minutes early. Got to get my glasses on. Maybe I can see a little bit better. Hello, hello. I'm hoping this other background doesn't play funky things with my headset, doesn't make me look funny. Got 15, 16 people. Hello. Just going to wait for some people to come in. Hello, Denise. Mallory. I think Amy and Kimberly were here earlier, long before my live started, looking at the timestamps. Hey, Pendizzy. Tonight is not going to be a card reading. Yeah, it's been quite a while. Yvonne. Sally. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, thank you. It's actually a picture that I took. It was last fall when my son and I were out and about with my brother. We went to, there's a place called York Dam in Pennsylvania, and we were there, and it was a time when the water was real low. But it was just one of the pictures I took, and I decided, well, I'm going to use that as my background. Okay, Deb, what do I think about it? I think Trump's charges are bullshit. Okay. I've made it well known across my channels. I support Trump 100%. Make America great again. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Melody. Hello, Tony. The 51st state. Yeah. That's funny. I honestly don't think, and Trump joked about it, but I don't think he's serious about trying to take over Canada. No. He actually made a comment that he doesn't want that headache, you know. But anyhow, tonight's topic is the Idaho 4. I don't know what your beverage of choice is tonight. I've got mine. This, believe it or not, is actually wine. Yeah. You Penn, it wouldn't be so bad if Trudeau was out, I think. But if you want to know what I'm drinking, let me see if I could get it to the camera right. It's called Cocoa Vine. It's like a wine with dark chocolate. I mean, it is fab. And this cost me in my local store. I think I actually bought it. Oh my, maybe it was several months ago actually. Um I think I only paid $10 or $11 for the bottle. So I thought, you know what, tonight's a good night to finish it up. It's very sweet, very chocolatey, with that hint of wine. It's a dark chocolate. All I could tell is it says finest blend of red wine and Dutch chocolate. Pleasantly sinful. And that it is. Oh, you've had that pen dizzy. Oh, I know. I love this. This is great. This, oh my God. I'm going to probably have to get another bottle of it. Thank you, Brenda, for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super sticker. Yeah, I figure by the time this live is over, put the doggies out. Dutton, this is the one time I'll let you come up here. I typically don't do this. Come on, come up and say hi. Say hi, Dutton. That's Dutton. Ugh. Okay. Now, don't pull my headset off. Okay. Okay, Dutton. It's Daisy's turn. Come here, Daisy. Come here, Daisy. We're getting attacked. Getting attacked. But he don't want to let Daisy in the picture. He does not want to let Daisy in. But come here, Daisy. Come here. Come here, Daisy. Nope, Daisy. Daisy. He doesn't want to let Daisy in the picture. I can't get her to jump. Well, I don't know if I want her to jump up because she's about 115 pounds. Dutton, let go of her. Okay, that was it. I just wanted you to say hi to everybody. Um, what did I just do? Okay, that's what I did. Okay. Uh, it is sibling rivalry between the two of them. Completely. Completely. Um, okay. You're talking about Morris, PA? Morris, PA is a little bit over an hour away from me. Okay. Yeah, I've been through Morris. All my DoorDash experiences. DoorDash has a sub company called DashLink where we would deliver packages. That was like an overflow from the USPS, US Postal Service. So we would go out on these, I would go out on postal routes almost. And I went through Mars. And I've been through Mars. I was dating somebody last year that lived in a town near Mars called Cranberry Township. Yes, the Amish country is about 3 hours from me. Well, no, there's one north in Newcastle, which is about an hour and a half. Yeah, Penn Daisy. There's a town called Mars that's about 45 minutes from me. Okay. Not exactly a cheap place to live either, because it's close to Cranberry Township. Cranberry Township. I know the guy that I was dating. He was actually somebody I dated back in like 2005. Then came back around last year. Didn't last long again, but that's a whole nother story for another day. But he was renting a condo. It was in a gated community, 2-bedroom condo for $1,500 a month. Okay. We have a saying going around here because where I'm at, even Mars, PA, are all centered around, even though Mars is more north. Oh, that sounds good, Penn Dizzy. But they're all these towns. Mars is north, I'm south, all around the city of Pittsburgh. Okay. And we have a little thing here. Super Bowl's tomorrow. It is who versus whoever. I'm a Steelers fan. And I've been wearing I got a Steelers sweatshirt on right now. Just saying. I just have a jacket on or robe on because even with a sweatshirt, I'm cold. Oh my lord. Oh yeah, that's a nice little hike. Let's see, we've got 66 people in here. Who wants to get into the topic tonight? Who's warm and ready to go? Okay, so I do have some notes on my phone. So if you see them, that's why. Okay. Hello, Night Owl. Tony. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Now, okay. We know we had a lot going on that came out. We're talking bomb drops in the Koberger hearing, January 23rd. Front of Hitler, a lot of motions. A lot of it had to do with that DNA. Okay, suppressing the DNA. It came out in court that it was proven in court that the FBI violated the Fourth Amendment. Yeah. So now the thing about that is now Hitler, the judge, is arguing with Ann Taylor. Yeah, I see that, but we got the cheek swab. We swabbed his cheek and it matches the knife sheath. I think this judge needs educated on what touch DNA is, anyhow. But he even used the word touch DNA. But it's not, touch DNA doesn't mean that Koberger touched that button himself. Okay. So, anyhow, so and I think the prosecution thought there was no way that, that they were thinking this DNA is going to stand because of the cheek swab. So they actually got a match from that. Now, Ann Taylor's argument is that they would never have even looked at Koberger. He would have never even had a cheek swab had it not been for the illegal obtainment of the DNA sample. Now, and this is what gets me. So many people don't understand what touch DNA is. I'm assuming that my crew, you all know what touch DNA is. Touch DNA. I like to use this example all the time. Okay. Yeah, always share your work. Yeah, that's the other thing, because the FBI destroyed all evidence on how they got that DNA. How'd you get his DNA match? I don't know. Let's play dumb. I don't know. I call bullshit. But anyhow, touch DNA. Get this out of the way. And I know my mind's kind of scattered right now. I should be looking at my notes, but I need to be over this way a little bit more. Because I'm looking at my camera and I'm like, I'm not in the middle of a frame, am I? But I watched the video of Banfield. And she was talking about that DNA and all this other stuff. You know what? I was bold enough. I went into her comments and I said, "Hey, Ashley, do you have any idea what touch DNA is? Any idea? Touch the DNA doesn't mean that Brooke Koberger touched the knife sheath. And that's the only freaking evidence." Now, she kept on saying, "I don't understand. His DNA was on the knife sheath, but how did he take out 4 people? There would be blood everywhere. How did he get out of there and get in his car and there not be anything?" Duh. You know, and Nancy Disgrace, yeah. Nancy Disgrace. Megan, yeah. They destroyed the house quickly, so they can't even go back in. But they do have the samples of the blood that was on the banister and the blood that was in the glove outside of the house. So, but anyhow, touch DNA, the analogy I usually use to explain it is, you go into a grocery store and you're looking for a box of cereal. And you pick 3 or 4 boxes off the shelf and you're holding them and you're looking at the ingredients, okay? And until you finally decide on a certain box. Okay? Then a murder suspect or or somebody who is planning on committing a crime, we'll leave it at that, comes into the grocery store, right? And he's looking at boxes of cereal also, but he's careful about it. Okay? Maybe he has a tissue. Maybe he acts like a germophobia. So he has a tissue or he puts on a glove to grab the box of cereal. He goes to check out. His fingerprints never appear on this box of cereal. His DNA is never on it, right? But he goes and say he goes to somebody's house, being very careful not to touch anything, you know. And we'll say that he's really well connected too, has friends in the police department, stuff like that. But he goes to somebody's house, and with his glove, he sets that box of cereal down. Okay? On the counter. And then he gets into an altercation. And he takes that person out. And he leaves. Without a trace of blood, no DNA. However they did it. Under police investigation, they find this box of cereal. And whose DNA's on it? Yours. And let's say that maybe you were in the vicinity at the time of the crime. Maybe you were on your way to go to a store or something and you pass in the vicinity. Or your cell phone's pinging off towers nearby where the crime is. But nobody could collaborate where you were for like an hour and a half. Nobody saw you. And say this victim, you didn't even know them. But somebody set you up and framed you. Your DNA's inside that house. Your DNA's on that cereal box. You have to be guilty. You had to be the one that did the dirty deed. That's touch DNA. And that's what happened here with the Idaho 4. So, a lot of people don't understand. When you walk out of a grocery store, you have a dozen people's DNA all over you. I've watched Pavarazzi before. Yeah, I agree, Penn. I agree, Penn. Justice for Brian. Yep. I've watched Pavarazzi. He brings out a lot of good points. Some of them are theory, which is fine. Some of them are really far out there. You have to be careful with theory because then you start a rumor mill. The one person I go to for facts about cases is Jules from True Crime Reactions. I know I could trust her. She backs everything up with facts. Okay. And I know I can trust what she says. Yes. And there's some people, I've watched a few crime channels that their theories are so far out in left field. Now, in my defense, when I throw cards, when I throw tarot cards, it's a tarot reading. It's not factual. It's just what I read in the cards. Many times it comes out and they're right. Just the way it is. By the way, a little shameless plug here. Check out my new channel. If you're into zodiac readings and daily pick a cards and stuff, go over there. It should be in the description box below the channel. Okay. Anyhow. But so I'm very, very careful about who I listen to. Yeah, Main Street grinds my gears also. Apple Watch says it's time for me to stand. Bullshit, I'm not standing. Um, but I'm very, very careful. Now, and obviously, I think most of us share the same theory. They've got the wrong person behind bars. I'm hoping, they need to really figure out who that DNA belongs to. Maybe law enforcement ran it and nothing came back. Or maybe it did. And they decided not to disclose that. Maybe they decided to destroy, just a theory, destroy the results. Maybe it came back to somebody that they said, oh no, we can't touch them. Okay. Right, I agree, Spirit Moon. Spirit only tells us what we need, what we they feel we need to hear. Okay. Um, but tarot cards just does not hold up in a court of law either. So, thank you, Pen Dizzy. What? Just starting. You do not look funny. Yeah, that's questionable. Okay. Now, so what came out with Ann Taylor is, you know, and we've heard all along that there was unidentified male DNA. We didn't know what kind of DNA, what form. Then mainstream passes it off as, it's a party house that was well known. Could have been anybody's DNA. Doesn't mean that it could have been there even long before the crime, you know, during one of the parties or something. But it was blood on the handrail. They going up the steps to Maddie and Kaylee. Now, whether that was that they got it on there for coming down or going up, I'm thinking more and more I look at this, I think Xana was the first victim, then Ethan, then the killer went upstairs, or killers went upstairs to Kaylee and Maddie. That's my theory. Um, but there was that blood on the handrail. Then a second blood sample was in they believe it looked like an electrician's glove outside. Neither blood samples matched each other. Neither one of the blood samples matched Koberger. Neither one of the blood samples matched any of the victims. But he matched somebody. Who knows who? The point is, why were they so quick to jump to conclusions that it was BK, that it was Brian, knowing that there was other actual blood DNA at the crime scene? Okay, so that there already, even the judge said, was there an accomplice? Not that he didn't say that Brian was innocent. He said, this is making us look, this is looking like there was an accomplice. Bringing me to the next point. Dear Dutton, don't you dare get in that garbage can. I will kick your spotted little butt. Yes, I agree. And Brian didn't have any wounds. No wounds. No blood in his car. And they tore it apart, looking in all the nooks and crannies, everything it could possibly look in. Not one single drop of blood. Even if he was in special gear that he was able to strip down, throw in a garbage bag. There's no way with that much fluid, that much red stuff, that he would have not gotten at least a tiny drop somewhere. Somewhere. So, now, the thing, and the other thing that I think the prosecution was counting on was DM. Was counting on Dylan, but she's proven to be unreliable. A witness on the prosecution side took a nosedive. When she was first interviewed, she said things like she saw somebody with a mask, ironclad black. That is police talk. Somebody who is drunk out of their skull is not going to use that kind of language. Clad in black is police terminology, military terminology, with a mask and bushy eyebrows. Next interview, a day later, she admits, she says, I was so drunk. Of course, my opinion, I think she was doing some kind of hallucinogens, actually. Because she said, I don't know if I was hallucinating, if I was just seeing things, if I was dreaming. I don't know. And she said that several times. At one point, she said she heard one of the victims running down the stairs. That couldn't have happened because the victims were deceased. Dylan's story changed so many times. Yes, MPD changed it a little bit, but I think she kept saying, I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. She may have even said that in the first interview, and law enforcement said, well, we're going to say, maybe they led her to say, didn't you see somebody clad in black? Or something like that. Maybe there were some leading questions. I think them know more than what they're saying too, as well. I totally believe that. Here's some other theories that are going on right now. But with Dylan, she did say that she heard somebody say, "It's okay, I'm here to help you," and people were taking that. Well, maybe they're there to help the victims. Somebody pretending to help the victims, and they're not. I don't believe that's what was said. That's who that statement was geared towards. Think about this. There's a crime going on. Let's say Ethan and even Kaylee was put up a major fight. What if somebody else, like the other DNA, the other glove, or the banister, came in and told the other perpetrator, hey, I'm here to help you finish this off and commit this crime and get out of here. So that's something else to think about. I started rethinking that whole thing. Could have been a dirty cop, or it could have been another brother per se saying, hey, I'm here to help you, to the other perpetrator. Or it could be a dirty cop. Absolutely. Maybe that's why they didn't want the DNA tested, because they already knew who it would belong to. They weren't asleep. That's already been established. That's a theory. That and stay out of my shit. That's already, I think, already been established that a majority of people do not believe that they were sleeping. Dutton, you got to get down. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. No. Down, down, down. Dutton, no. He's going to be a pain in the ass right now. There was something else I wanted to point out. But that could have been. Absolutely. Something sounded weird with my microphone. Am I still coming across? I hope so. I heard some kind of crackling in the air. Yeah, that dumpster, yes. And there was an early video. I was trying to find it where they were talking about all this, where one dude got this information at the beginning of January, and he got information December 3rd before Koberger was ever even arrested about sounding like somebody came down the steps. Um, just different things like that about coming down the steps. And then there was an early video clip I'm trying to remember. Well, they talked about a lot what we already talked about. And like they've already established there was no stalking. Oh, thank you, Cindy. But and there's other things. Dutton, get down. I know he wants something. Probably OUT. You're gonna have to wait till Mama's done. Go, go. You're gonna have to wait till Mama's done. The individuals on the body cam. We could talk about that too. That's a good question, Penn Disease. I don't know why so many people are spinning lies out of this. If you look at the facts, I mean, it's the writing's on the wall. People are trying to build a narrative. It's like re-engineering. It's not an investigation. Even Ann Taylor says this was no investigation. It's re-engineering it, working backwards. Okay, this is who we want to pin it on. Let's see if we can find some evidence that could possibly tie him to the crime. Down. Hold on, guys. I'm going to have to put him out of the room. Hold on. You're done. You're done. Out. He is just being relentless. Had to lock him out of the room. Being relentless. Good for you, Penn Dizzy. I like Ann Taylor a lot too. But I was trying to find it in old footage of mine. Haven't found it. I know it's somewhere, but the 4chan. There were a lot of people that said, oh, that 4chan is bullshit. Very descriptive about what happened. As if the writer of the post on this website was either very, very close to the crime, if not one of the perpetrators himself. And I mean, he talked about the two Davids, one of them being Dirty South Loach. And talking about how they waited till the third floor bedroom light went out because they could see the King Roadhouse from their windows. They waited till the light went out, and they flat out said it was done in 19 minutes flat. Now, Ellie was saying that the crime was done, they estimated, in 13 minutes. Think about this for a minute. And in that post, they said 19 minutes on this 4chan post, including the 3-minute walk to the King Road house. Let's do some math. 19 minutes. Gee, 3 minutes to get down there, right? Then that's 3 minutes. 3 minutes when the crime is done to get back to the frat house. That's 6 minutes. Take 19 total minutes minus 6 minutes is 13 minutes, which is what law enforcement said the crime was committed in 13 minutes. Think about that. Yeah. Coincidence? I don't think so. And to take out 4 people in 13 minutes and get rid of clothing or whatever they needed to do wasn't done by one single person. I bet there was at least 3 involved in the crime. There were, in the beginning, they said 3 unidentified male DNA. 2 unidentified DNA coming from blood that came out a couple weeks ago. I think there were 4. I think there was a watch guy. And, when in the Banfield footage where the police were interrogating some kids for underage drinking on the cop's body cam, there was those 4 people hurrying up back down to coming from the area of the crime scene going towards the frat house. 4. They were never questioned. They never looked to see or try to investigate who those 4 people are, even though even mainstream media, who twists everything, even mainstream media, even Nancy Disgrace and Ashley Band, what's her face, Jennifer Coffin, Daffer, they all said the same thing. So it's not just the crime sleuths. That's something that everybody's picked up on. Why weren't those people interviewed? Where's the blood underneath the fingernail victims that fought back? I bet you're, yeah, I think you're right. Yep. There you go. Another point, Penn Dizzy. Absolutely. Um, well, I think I covered what I wanted to talk about mainly, but we could continue talking about different things. But I was planning on spending close to around an hour or so live, and it's only been 46 minutes. But yeah, yeah, Chris, yeah, I agree. Absolutely. He was probably paid to switch. And in all honesty, all the guilters in this case on YouTube, every guilter has a huge channel. Look at Annie Elise. Christina, what's her face? Christina Randall, just to name two. Millions of subscribers. That's scary. They spread false information. Now, what was funny about Christina Randall? She put out a video on this. Everything was wrong. Everything. Right down to her still saying that Brian stalked the victims. Oh my God, everybody blew up her comments. You know, she never took that video down, never changed anything. She misspelled Brian Koberger's name. I don't think she ever reads her comments. She probably, I don't think she claims she edits her videos. I don't think she does. All she does, she's handed a script. She reads it. So then it's passed off to somebody for editing. And she never has to touch anything. Just read a script. I think that's all that is. Yeah. And the timeline is completely wrong. I think everything was around 2 a.m. That's my opinion. That's what my cards were telling me. Now, there's been two different timelines come out from police reports. Yeah, Pandesi, I agree. Now, the videos I like to watch of hers are the history ones. The ones where the cases have already been solved from years ago. Those are the ones I like to I will sit and watch sometimes. But anything that, and even on, she was even thinking the Delphi case. She was a guilter on that one too. So yeah, KL. The DNA results that were turned over to the defense were the ones on Brian Koberger, not the unidentified DNA. Because I don't think there was any testing done on them. Yep. Yep. Yeah, Richard Allen needs to be freed. I think he was framed. To me, Jack D sounds very suspicious as well because he was butthurt over getting his ass dumped. Yeah, and yeah, exactly. I agree with you, Penn Dizzy, about Christina Randall spent time behind bars. Um, Daniel, yes, I do. You can send me an email. It's mysticgen@gmail.com. That's with 2 N's. And welcome aboard, Daniel. It's possible. I think that there were 4 involved. There was definitely somebody on watch outside. There were at least 2 people committing the crimes. Maybe a third person to quiet the dog or keep the dog occupied. You're welcome, Daniel. Hey, rock that body. You missed half the party, and I know. Boom. My dumbass forgot to send you a message. I was kind of talking to Gary. And I was talking to Gary, rock that body, and then I looked at the time and says, Gary, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go live. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, rock that body. You're probably gonna have to start from the beginning. Talked a lot about the unidentified male DNA, the blood on the railing of going up the steps, and the glove. A glove outside that happened to be an electrician's glove had blood in it, and the blood samples did not match Brian Koberger, did not match any of the victims. Yeah. You might hear some banging because Dutton's trying to bang on the door. He wants in here, but he's relentless. He's not leaving me alone. Honestly, Daniel, I don't think either one of the surviving roommates did the deed, but I think that they know a little something about what was happening. They were texting each other. I think Dylan knew exactly what was going on. Anne's doing a fantastic job. She's blowing this case wide open. I watched that hearing that happened on the 23rd. I'm like, you go, Anne. You go. There's some crackling. Yes, she did. But the new thing out is even the Judge Hipple, whatever, is saying, oh, now there might be an accomplice because of this blood DNA that the judge says he didn't know anything about that came out in court. Blood inside the house on the handrail going up the steps. I even think, I think it later came out that somehow, I think Dylan ended up in Bethany's room. I'll consider that if I get a chance, Omega. Justin. I want to be careful what I say there. In a roundabout way, I did. Um, Daniel, I don't think that they were killed at Linda Lane. No. Yeah, he did. That did happen. At the Grub Truck video. That's a very famous video. Everybody has seen it. Maddie or Kaylee says, Maddie, what did you tell Adam? Oh, I told Adam everything. Then Hoodie Guy says, they're going to get you girls for that. Yeah, that was clear on that video. He knows something too. Yeah. Why isn't he being questioned about, what did you mean by that they're going to get you girls for that? Why wasn't he questioned like that? He was shooed out of the fucking country so fast. Oh, plot twist. I like to vet all information. Is that validated? Is there proof that the private driver never existed? It's my gut feeling, Daniel. It's my gut feeling. Hi, Amy. As crazy as it sounds, Daniel, I believe Xana was the main target. Xana and Maddie. And it had to do with a fight at a frat party at Linda Lane. That part happened. Ethan and Dirty South, that they call him, hated each other. And it all started back with fall rush of the previous year when Ethan was rushing in that fraternity. There's some bad blood between them. And Xana started running her mouth when Ethan and Dirty South got into a fight. Dirty South had the hots for Xana and wanted her, rather. She didn't want anything to do with him. And then Maddie allegedly was running her mouth saying shit. And saying shit she wasn't supposed to. Maddie, what did you tell Adam? I think, Daniel, that there's multiple motives in this, actually. But there's still a personal vendetta as well. And I was talking about the 4chan post. And in this 4chan post that I think was directly connected to the perpetrators or was one of them, but posted anonymously just before even Brian Koberger was a suspect. It was posted just days after the crime. And all these details that we know now was in this 4chan post, by the way. But he said he's laughing and he's saying everybody thinks that Kaylee was a target. She wasn't. It was just her bad luck of being there. That the target was Ethan and Xana. The other two were collateral damage. But it doesn't explain how Dylan and Bethany weren't taken out also. Maybe it's a lack of time. I don't know. Yeah, I agree, Pen Lizzie. Yeah. I believe the cult of Odin was involved with the Delphi case. Definitely. I'm not convinced of that with the Idaho 4. Not saying that it's not possible. I just haven't seen evidence of it yet. There is cult-like energy amongst the frat brothers. How they are kind of like a secret society. I wouldn't say cult of Odin, but I'm not ruling that out. It's a Greek society. A certain religious group. I do not want to be the one to say the name of the churches, but a certain type of churches, religious groups, could be playing a part as well. Oh, she does? Bubbly water. Yep, you did rock that body. But I'm being very careful about what I say. I'm leading into things without coming out and saying it. Not too long ago, there was another big YouTube channel taken down because of things that they said. So I'm watching everything, being careful. Right. Grundy's already under investigation. Possibly. I'm not sure about that. Somebody leaving the state. I heard that story. I haven't been able to vet it yet. There's more. Yeah, there's still a lot of sealed shit in this case. But the judge Hipple, whatever, he did unseal some things. That's how we found out about the blood on the banister and the blood in the glove on outside of the house. I don't think it was a DoorDash driver, but you never know. You never know. That might have been a cover. But my personal opinion, I think the murders are already done. Somebody could have very easily used Xana's phone to place an order to make it look good, to throw the timing off. Yeah, I totally agree, Amy. And here's the thing, the prosecution thought that the judge would shoot down Frank's motion altogether. This judge is entertaining it. He's leaving it open on the table, possibly a Frank's hearing. And the Frank's hearing, that's done. They have to let BK out. They have to let Brian go. And guess what? The assholes tore down the house. I saw the writing on the wall way back when they were talking about tearing down the house. And I don't, for God only knows, I don't know why Ann Taylor would even go ahead and consent and say, okay, we don't need it. All the evidence is out of there. But they should never, ever have touched that house till the trial was done and over. Yeah, the coroner even said 2 to 3 a.m. But yep. And that house is gone. And I said it. I'm, you know, and even on some mainstream media and on some other people's posts that were guilters, I put, hey, what if he's not guilty? The house is gone. Now what? Yep. True, rock that body. Okay, true crime queen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The audio and videos from Linda Lane. Here's the problem that I have with them is that They don't show much of anything but traffic. The audio is so horrible. You could try to clean it up. I think you could hear a couple things. You could hear like a whistle. There are a couple things that you can actually hear. But yeah, I agree, Amy. Here's the thing about the tunnels. I believe they're there. I saw proof of it. I did my research, and there are tunnels under Moscow. I read articles on Wikipedia, even about how the tunnels were built. And yes, the president of the university grew up in that house. So, very well could have been tunnels. Yeah, I haven't heard about him taking the clubs. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't think they did a proper autopsy on these people. There's so much, I mean, so many cover ups. It's not even funny. They didn't use so much shit that was available to them because they had tunnel vision. Brian Koberger was their man. That's who they were fixated on. That's who they had to build their narrative around. If it wouldn't fit in their narrative, they didn't use it. That's the way that they built this case. And the cremation so fast, yeah. I think I missed something. Thought maybe I missed. I don't see it. Oh well. Sorry, Daniel. I must have missed a post or so. Oh, do you think he knows the killers? Honestly, I don't think he does. I do not think Brian Koberger knows. Or I take that back. Maybe he knows of them, but didn't know that they were the killers. In other words, he knows to see them on the street, but maybe he doesn't have knowledge of this one, this one, and this one were involved. He may not know who was involved, but he knows who the people are. Am I making sense? Do you understand what I mean? To sit and talk to them, see them on the street, things like that. He knows them, knows their faces, doesn't know anything about them, doesn't know if they committed any crimes, doesn't know if they did the homicides. That's my opinion. I do too, Patrice. I believe they were both BKs. lived near each other. Okay? They, even in Pennsylvania, they lived near each other. Okay? Both Brent and Brian were from Pennsylvania. And I've been out to that area before. It's only about 2.5 hours from where I live. I live in Pennsylvania. When then I think Brent moved out to Pullman, Washington. Wasn't long after that that Brian moved out there. They might have been friends. But I don't know how involved they were. I think my opinion is I've questioned this. I have no proof of this. This is not fact. Okay? Opinion only. That maybe Brent was the original patsy for this crime. He ends up morto, and it falls on Brian. Yep. I don't think Brent was. No. Here's the problem with Brent. Brent didn't drive. And Brian didn't drive him to the crime scene either. There is GPS proof that Brian wasn't around the crime scene during the times of the crime. But it's definitely, yes, I agree. Crooked cops, crooked town. I think Brent may have had some information. Brian might have some information. I don't know that it's directly connected to the crime. It may be connected to something else, like drugs or something like that that they may have knowledge of. But there was a reason why Brent was taken out. And I'm really not comfortable with saying my opinion on who I think it was because I don't want to get my ass sued. Even though I say it's my opinion only, there was another creator who had well over 200,000 subscribers, really built it up. Even though she said this is just my opinion, apparently her opinion impacted certain people's lives and her ass got sued. Really bad. I'm not putting myself in that kind of position. Daniel, could Brent have provided? I have thought about that. I have entertained that theory. That is a theory. I have not discarded that. So I would say, yes, that could be a possibility. Yes. Ron Koberger, I believe, did apply to work at the MPD. And you're right, Tony. They do have heaps of K-bars. Ah, yes, Pen Dizzy, absolutely. And I think, Amy, I think you're right there. They didn't want a really smart, someone as intelligent as Brian Koberger on the force to figure shit out and figure out what they were doing. She might have, Mary, the car thing. I don't know, Daniel. It's possible. It's possible that he was an informant or something for the police. I honestly don't know. Um, if they could produce solid proof, I mean, I could change my mind about Brian Koberger's innocent or guilty. I have to see proof of it. So far, I have not seen any proof indicating that he's guilty. So I mean, I'm open. It's not like some of these people that think that Brian is guilty. I mean, they're total tunnel vision. They're not, even when there's evidence presented that could possibly exonerate him, exculpatory evidence potentially. They're not even open to the idea, well, I think he's guilty, but there's still a little bit of possibility that maybe he's not. I'm the opposite. I don't think he's guilty, but I'm not ruling it out that he didn't play a part. Okay. He might have, but I have to see proof of that. The facts tell the story exactly, B Geek. I need to see the facts. And like I said, when I want to know something about a case, and then I do some research, my number one source, and I said it before, is Jules, a true crime reaction. She's a no bullshit channel. I like watching her. I see what's going on. I want to put my own take on it. I do my own research. I don't just totally rely on Jules either. I do my own research. But I do trust her very, very much. Some people don't like Jules because she tells it like it is, and she's not afraid to call anybody out either. That's all speculation, Amy, but it's a valid point. It's possible. Um, let me see. Daniel, I just read it. I sorry I did miss it the first time around. Abso-fucking-lutely. Whether it was that they're at the scene or they are covering the shit up or they were watching on guard. You know what I mean? I think there could have been, and maybe maybe there was police cover of a police involved in the crime. Daniel, I do believe that that's a possibility. Why else? I mean, that could be one of the reasons why the two unidentified male DNA weren't tested. You know what, Penn Lizzie? Um, it was Gabby Petito that got me interested in true crime also. I kind of dabbled a little bit with it, but then when the Idaho 4 came, I was all in. The Idaho 4 is what I built my channel on originally. And that was a year and a half ago. I built my channel from the Idaho 4. Everybody has their case where they got started. I was watching true crime prior to me starting this channel, but my actual start into doing true crime, and I started with, well, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to mix the true crime with tarot cards. And when I started doing that, there was only a couple of us that did it. Now there's a lot more readers on there trying to do this. Read true crime tarot readings. But back at the time, there was only like 3 or 4 of us who really were into it. I hear you, Penn. R.I.P. Kylie, yeah. Kylie Rodney. That is another case. And I dove into that too. I remember when that happened. I remember when she disappeared. And I covered it on this channel. I'm lucky I didn't get my ass sued back then. That's one of the families that were out that were so sue happy over anybody that tried to say anything about Kylie's passing. And if anybody hinted at all that they thought that there was foul play, they got their ass sued. Oh, Cindy, it takes an open mind. Thank you for that. Yeah, Kylie Roddy is another case of a big, huge cover up. Gabby Petito is another one. Yeah, we know who did it. But let me tell you, mommy and daddy, you know, that was a sad case. And I still think the dude's still alive, but hiding. That's just my opinion. Yeah, I think he's still alive as well. Anyhow, my puppies, particularly Dutton, who made several appearances. You saw him trying to climb on my shoulders and everything. I think they have to go out and do their thing. I think that was one of the girls' jackets. Yes, Daniel. Anyhow, I need to get off here. I need to take care of my puppies. It is almost, it's going on 10 p.m. I'm going to have to get myself rested, get myself to bed. Okay. So I think I'm going to start doing some more lives like this. I used to do them a year ago. Then I got away from the lives, but I'm going to start doing some more lives and talking about cases. Okay. And I thank everybody for coming, for showing up. Thank you for the super chats. And I love everybody. And until next time, what's my famous saying? Why do I say it after each video? Pop quiz. Pop quiz. What do I say when I end a video? Boom! You got that, Night Owl. So, yep, at this point, guys, I am dropping the mic.